Good morning, it's July 16th, and this is To My Liberal Friends. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have some comments, I'm happy to listen to them and read them. Well, when Donald Trump entered the 2016 presidential race, very few people considered him a serious candidate. In March of that year, I was attending a fundraiser for Congressman John Larson, a Democrat from Connecticut. He's a member of the Ways and Means Committee, and as such was important to several of my clients. One of the few Republicans in attendance, being me, Congressman Larson called me aside and asked me what I thought of Trump as a candidate. Well, being honest at that time, I told him I thought it was just in the race for name ID and to boost his image. Larson looked at me and he said he was not so sure because Augie and Boris at the diner like him. He was metaphorically referring to the union and working men in his district. When Trump achieved the nomination, I was in Larson's office and he reminded me of our conversation back in March. But then he said, quote, "Hillary will kick his ass." I said I would not be too sure about that because Trump was gaining momentum. After the election, I ran into John in the hall of the House office building. We both admitted that we were wrong. Me about his initial candidacy and he about his chances of winning. The media in 2016 covered Trump extensively. He was good news and was certainly not shy around the camera. They followed his every move and gave him a lot of free media attention. Once he won, the media realized they made a mistake in their eyes, not mine, and turned on him with a vengeance. It was not long before the Russian collusion theory was in the news, and the media pushed it as hard as their friends in the Democratic Party. Explosive new evidence suggested that some of the highest-ranking officials in the Obama-era CIA and FBI perjured themselves regarding their claims that Vladimir Putin helped Donald Trump secure the victory in 2016. In a newly released CIA review, it challenges their sworn denials to Congress that the Steele dossier, a now discredited set of allegations that Trump funded by Hillary Clinton's campaign, that was used as the basis for the years-long Russiagate probe that hamstrung President Trump's first term. It resulted in millions and millions of dollars of wasted money in the Mueller Commission. The 8-page review, conducted by career CIA analysts, found the dossier did, in fact, worm its way into the text of the highly classified report known as an intelligence community assessment, to buttress the thinly sourced but inflammatory allegation that Putin and the Russian government aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances. Ultimately, the agency has decided to include a 2-page summary of the dossier as an annex to the ICA, with disclaimers that the material was not used to reach the analytic conclusions. But on page 5, that was what it said. However, by placing a reference to the annex material in the main body of the intelligence community assessment as the force-supporting bullet for the judgment that Putin aspired to help Trump win, the ICA implicitly elevated the dossier's unsubstantiated claims to the credible supporting evidence compromising any analytical integrity of the judgment. The CIA's lessons learned report contradicts Obama administration officials' claims, most of which were made under oath that they did not use the since-debunked dossier. Former CIA Director John Brennan, for one, insisted in his sworn 2017 testimony before Congress that the Steele dossier was not in any way used as a basis for the so-called ICA completed in late December 16. Later, during a May 23 House Committee interview, Brennan claimed, quote, "The CIA was very much opposed to having any reference or inclusion of the Steele dossier in the intelligence community assessment." Likewise, then National Intelligence Director James Clapper said in an official 2017 statement that, quote, "We did not rely upon the dossier in any way in our conclusions." Several months later, he assured Congress the dossier was not a formal part of the intelligence community assessment. More recently, Clapper also swore, "We didn't use the dossier in our intelligence community assessment, and we didn't use it for the intelligence community assessment, we didn't draw on it." In the same May 2023 House Judiciary interview, which was conducted in closed session but during which he was advised of federal perjury charges, he expounded that, quote, "The team that put together the intelligence community assessment was not to draw on it as a source of the intelligence community assessment. So you won't find a footnote using the dossier as a source," end quote. Wow. While testifying in a February 2017 deposition, moreover, former FBI Director Andy McCabe asserted that although a written summary of the dossier was appended, the classified version of the ICA was never referred to in the main body of the Intel report. Quoting McCabe, one, "I participated in conversation with Brennan and Clapper in consideration of how to handle the Steele reporting with respect to the ICA, and ultimately it ended up being included in attachment A rather than the main body. There's a subtle difference in that. It's in there. It's attached to it. It's an appendix. Whether it's in the main body or not, people see it and they assign it some importance. The bottom line in all this is that top intelligence officials like Brennan and Clapper used their positions to try and skew the elections. They bought into the Steele dossier even though they knew it was the suspect and told it was a valid document. They were also in the forefront, meaning Brennan and Clapper, in rounding up 51 different intelligence people to sign a letter saying the Hunter Biden laptop was a fake and the product of Russian disinformation. We now all know the laptop was real, that the Steele dossier was made up out of whole cloth by a guy working at a think tank in D.C., and that Obama and Biden officials participated in this scheme to try and take down Donald Trump, and the mainstream media went along without asking any questions. Seems they don't like to ask questions about Democrats. To them, it was business as usual in their hatred of Donald Trump, who they thought they were complicit in bringing him to the presidency by giving him so much coverage early on. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening, and again, hit the subscribe button.